Hi guys, this is Young Neil from Advanced Property Strategies, and welcome back to another episode with me. And we've got a lovely guest speaker today, Joe Vadillo. How you going, Joe?
Hey, I'm doing well, thank you.
That's good. So Joe's from Advocate Property Services, and I've known Joe for a short time now, and she's doing some really cool things with her clients and helping them make money. Isn't that right, Joe?
Yes, absolutely. Always want to have that outcome, don't you? You don't want people to not make money. It's all about that, making sure
Yeah.
they get the good returns.
Exactly. And we're all property investors, and that's what we want is a return on investment. So obviously you want to give these guys a bit of background on, what you do, the service you provide, and how you help people in the current marketplace.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we started our business in 2011. Should I say 2011? 2011? 2011. Because I was already helping friends and family buy property. Like it was just a natural, I guess, I morphed into the industry because I was doing it pro bono, and then I realized I had a bit of a knack for negotiating, finding deals, putting deals together, recognizing opportunities that other people didn't see, including selling agents. It's amazing how times I'll look at a property and go, whoa, you can actually subdivide this, things. And
Yes,
agents and the vendors are sometimes unaware of what they're sitting on.
for sure.
So, I started my company up, and we were originally traditional buyers agents, a fee for service and helping people find a property. So that could be, just a, typical, this is my budget. I need a house that's walking distance to this school with these needs for our family unit. And over time, because I'm an investor, I've been investing for 20 years, and that's my passion. I found that we started to work more and more with investors, and I was always looking for properties that had that little bit of a something else, whether it's a potential to renovate with that over capitalizing and for them to recognize profit.
Mm.
So our business really has now shifted and changed. We certainly do still have our fair share of owner occupiers, but we're quite broad, really. And our business really is about helping people, as I said, to kick off, make money out of property.
Yeah, for sure. Beautiful. And so what areas do you generally specialize in? I know that's like you said, it's a broad coverage that you do in terms of investing, owner occupier. So in terms of areas and services. So do you want to just clarify that first?
Sure. There's the eastern seaboard of Australia. It is quite broad. So look, we're physically based in Sydney, so Sydney market, but then south of Sydney, down to Wollongong, Newcastle, and we do predominantly a large amount of our work in southeast Queensland.
Yeah,
And we do
sure.
have staff on the ground there, and we spend, when we're allowed to cross borders, we do spend a lot of our lives up in Brisbane and surrounding areas as well, because there is just opportunity there. And from a price point, if someone came to me and they said, look, I've got $500,000 and I want to do an investment in Sydney, the returns don't seem to be there, the yield isn't there, and the opportunity and the land size can't be met with some of those budgets. And I personally have been investing in Brizzy since 11 years now, I think,
Yep.
myself.
Mm.
So, we've got quite a few properties up there, and we really know, and advocate for a lot of those areas that we are buying for our clients in.
Yeah, and it does make a huge difference, the fact that you do have investments in Queensland, you understand that market. In my experience of the three different states on the eastern seaboard, especially, investing in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, they are just three different animals,
Yeah.
and they have their pluses and minuses for sure, as everything does. So in terms of some of the deals that you get for your clients, whether it's a discount from a builder or what we call a free block of land, I know that recently or previously you found a great deal for Bernadette Jansen, which is a corner block with the subdivision. So do you want to just share some of the cool deals that you've done or found for clients that they've been able to capitalize on and everyone make money?
Yeah, for sure. So the Bernadette Jansen deal, that was, as you said, a corner block, but the property itself was so well made, even though it was 60 years old, double brick, going nowhere, like solid as anything. They don't make it like they used to, kind of formula. And Bernadette's a renovator, so she was able to beautifully restore this property, but it was already on two titles. So they were able to release a 400 square meter block at the rear of the property as well, which was street facing. So formulas like that we come across quite a bit. We've found a number of different properties where houses can be removed and then they get two lots next side by side. I've had clients move house to one side, free up a block, then they package it up as a house and land deal themselves.
Mm.
And that's great for the resale, because once you've got that house on the block, other buyers who just want to come in and build a new home, they don't need to deal with the DAs and the plans. It's all there. It's like a present they've just got to open up once it starts to get, but the hard people who, and I find this really amazing, and you might understand as well, Nyan, some people don't love property as much as we do.
Don't they?
No, I know, right?
No?
So one of my very first clients said to me, don't you find it boring? Like, I couldn't think of anything worse than looking at property. And I said, oh my God, when I finish my day at work and I've got the TV on, I'm still searching for property because I don't know, I've gone down a tangent. Someone talked about getting a farm. And I said, yeah, that's a great idea. I want to look at a farm now. So, this is just, it's a hobby, it's a passion, and I love being able to help people. So I did a deal last week for a family that had a very special set of needs, and their owner occupiers in Sydney. There was a mobility issue, and we just had to make sure the block was flat, that they can get around, that they had enough money left over, they could do renovations to make sure there's enough room for wheelchair access, et cetera, et cetera. So we found this property off market. So that's another one of the, I guess, skill sets that we bring to the table is, what's a skill set? It's a relationship thing, really, where we've been in the industry for so long. We know so many of the local area agents that I pick up the phone when I've got a client and say, look, this is what we're looking for. We can see domain, we can see real estate. What have you got that's coming up, or what have you got on the quiet? And people wonder why some other people don't want to make their sales public, but it could be a whole bunch of reasons. It could be privacy. They don't want the neighbors to know that they're moving, or they've lost a job, or they're getting divorced, or people don't want to have a multitude of people through their homes. I, for one, I've got 3 sons. I know when I sell my home, I don't want to be anywhere near it for the duration of the campaign. I certainly want to keep up the cleaning of it. So,
yeah, for sure.
There's many different reasons people don't really want to go public. So agents will contact buyers agents organically as well and say, we've got this cracker of a deal. Client wants a quick, quiet sale, and that happens.
Yeah,
and that just comes from years of experience and relationship building.
Yeah, no, it sounds like there's a lot of overlap with what we teach in our programs, and that's the thing, is that you got to get the deals off market. Having said that, where you come in is it's a time thing, isn't it? Some people, they understand the theory, they understand the opportunity of whether you send out letters or flyers or door knocking or approaching agents, but they've got time restraints, or they're just don't want to be talking to agents for whatever reason. So do you find that mainly the service you provide are for people who are time poor, or they just don't have those skill sets? What would you say is the main gap filler that you provide there?
Probably a bit of a combination, just lack of experience. And that's a fact, isn't it? That most people will not transact property that much in a lifetime. I can't remember what the number used to be, but it's a small number, and that's sort of what I do in a month. So for someone who hasn't sold for a long time, or hasn't purchased for a long time, or sometimes they're new to Australia and they've only been here for a few years and they just don't understand the game, and that's where they leverage off us. Time poor is a big one. As you know, just getting your finance ready can be a time intensive scenario. And if you've got a really demanding job, you don't have the time to sit on the phone ringing around agents. It can be very much something that pulls you away from business, and that's got a negative consequences in itself. So it's a service that it's certainly not a false economy. People use an expert to sell a property. They really need to be, looking at leveraging off the skills of either a program where they learn the skills themselves, or use an expert to come buy the property themselves.
And then I think that's part of the journey of learning how to be an active and successful property investor and developer, is putting together your team, isn't it? Whether it's a solicitor, accountant, buyer's agent, a finance broker, a coach, mentor. So I suppose it's part of the team that people create around them as they grow in their journey, and they figure out, okay, sometimes when you do it yourself, you can get a certain result, but can you get a better result by getting educational support or through a consultancy arrangement there? So that's good. So can you share us any other recent success stories that our listeners can relate to here?
Well, I'm on the path of negotiating a sale actually this week for, again, another off market. And this particular client wants to have a dual income scenario in Sydney. Not quite as easy a formula to replicate as it is in Southeast Queensland.
Sure.
So, and especially in the area they're looking, it's not much in the way of flat blocks. There's always issues with water and storm water, and the blocks are cookie sizes on. So for me to find not only what they want, what they want to do with it, and then get a flat block is actually quite a hard formula. So
Sure.
this particular transaction, again, it was a matter of me picking up the phone and ringing through a multitude of different agents, explaining what it is we need. And it really sometimes I'll get deals you go, that's a cracker. I can't believe I actually did that. And then you do sometimes sort of go, what's wrong with it? Because the fact that it's actually worked out and we were able to do this for this particular client in a matter of 3 weeks has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it's actually one of the most perfect flat blocks, and they want to build a granny flat at the rear.
Yes.
So whilst I get them the property, I need them to make sure that the granny flat is something. And in Sydney, you can have a granny flat rented out to like it doesn't have to be someone known to you. That lease,
Sure.
you can live in the front house and you can have an income in the backyard. So, but it's when you do look for things like granny flat blocks, you want to make sure that the people who are living at the back of your property aren't walking past your kitchen window at night. There's a number of different things you want to make sure that it's, I guess it makes logistics sense as well,
Yeah.
not even just from a financial sense. It's like,
Yeah, practical sense.
you're
Sure.
not going to walk past you guys having a barbecue every time they come home either, so.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's probably, I like that one because I know how much money they're going to make from it. The granny flat's 135,000. They're probably going to rent it out for 650 per week.
Oh, wow. That's a great return. That's
So-
a great return, especially in Sydney. It doesn't matter if you're in Sydney anywhere. That's a really good return, over $30,000 return on $130,000 investment there. And perfectly legal too, because I know that in some states, you can't do that. So, or you can do it, but you can't do it legally. So, or council. So it's part of the local knowledge and expertise as well. I think what you've mentioned before, which some people miss, is being able to think 3-dimensionally or multi-dimensionally as well. You've got the financial aspect, you've got the council aspect. Building, any building can be a headache in itself. If anyone's built a building or a granny flat or any renovation, they know there's a lot of moving parts. And I suppose for you, adding that service of qualifying a builder, qualifying a team to make it seamless for the customer there, it's just a huge thing, because we're, especially in this time where a lot of us are time poor and energetically poor, we're getting pulled in so many directions. So very good. So let's start to wrap up there. Joe, I really appreciate your time. How do people get in touch with you, just so they can, figure out and find out more about what you do and see if there's a match for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, jump onto our website. It's advocateservices.com.au. And you can actually just reach me directly. I usually respond to emails within a 24-hour window. And that's Jo at advocateservices.com.au.
Very good. Yeah, we'll put that at the bottom of our podcast notes there so people can check in there. Thanks again, Joe. I really appreciate your time and look forward to catching up with you another time, hey?
Oh, absolute privilege. Thank you.
Cool. Cheers.